Anyway, that's Critical Role. Welcome, guys, to Recap Thursday on Not a Thursday. Let's just get right into it. We last left off
with
meeting
the
dwarves.
Mm-hmm. All dwarves are Japanese. That's what we. That's what the.
Hey, don't be racist. Okay, don't be racist.
All dwarves just happen to have Japanese accents and Japanese names, just saying.
Yeah, well.
Except for Nurhaz.
Hey, it's.
Except you never know.
Maybe
he just forgot that he had an accent. Anyway. Apparently we're both drunk, so this
yeah, this will be great.
So we do have another half day's travel. To what?
Yep. No, yeah, you go.
Oh, I thought you were making the wait sound. No. Yeah. So, oh my god. So we have another half day's travel. Nurhaz talks to Val, saying that hey, those scrolls did actually come in handy. Good job.
After we meet the dwarves, Evander we break for lunch because it was midday, and he looks over all of the bandages, all our bandages, and the people who got hurt, and then Nurhaz and Val talk to each other.
Yeah.
About that.
So Evander's fixing Devril up. Tells him that he cut a man in half. And he's like, "You're pretty crazy out there." And Devril's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I passed out as soon as I got shot."
Devril actually is the one who brings it up, and he says that I guess no one's really talking about what happened last night, because to Devril it's kind of a big thing. Evander brushes it off, saying, there's nothing really to talk about. It was a fight, they wanted to kill us, we killed them, whatever, it's just no big deal. And Devril, being himself, just apologizes for being utterly and completely useless to him, saying that he didn't feel like himself, and that the last thing that he remembered was he actually wanted to kill all these men for the sake of his quote unquote justice, but he apologizes, says, but I went and got myself injured by getting hit by these crossbow bolts, and I was completely useless. Evander replies
no,
with,
you weren't.
no, I saw you cut a guy in half. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Devril's like, what? No, I didn't. And to which Ileana butts in, and she's like, so has everyone changes the subject completely. She's like, that's a little dramatic. Let's talk about something else. And Evander's like, I'm just saying what I saw. And she's like, shut up. Then Evander and Val have a little chat as well afterwards, which I didn't write down because I think everyone was talking over each other.
It was basically the concern of Val still covering herself up.
No,
that was later.
No, that's later.
Oh, okay.
I did write that down.
Oh, I was wondering. I was like, that was a big conversation. Then you're right. I wasn't paying attention. Because everyone I guess
at the same goddamn time. So annoying. Anyway, so they have a conversation. Watch the VOD if you want to know what that conversation is.
Yeah.
So we come across a hill. We're climbing a hill. As we crest the top of the hill, we see a massive castle in the distance, and it's straddling a river. And it seems to be using this river as a moat. So it's still quite a ways. We probably wouldn't be able to reach it within the day.
It was getting dark, and it was just about another half a day's travel, because we slept in the day before. So we decided to make camp on top of the hill.
So Nurhaz takes first watch.
Which surprise!
Stepping up to the plate, yeah. So Nurhaz takes the first watch. Nothing happens during his watch. He goes and wakes up Ileana, who had volunteered for second.
Which is surprising. I'm also
bunch
really...
of new leaves turning over, yeah. But Ileana is more rested than everyone else because... No, she's not. She's less rested because she stayed... I don't know. She just wanted to take a second walk.
Technically,
anyway,
she's more rested because she fucking did nothing. You did nothing.
She didn't get touched. I did stuff.
Oh, that's what I meant.
So
that's what I meant. You didn't get hurt by you
yeah.
didn't do anything. Like
yeah, goddamn right. So then Holo takes third watch. As they're about to go to sleep, during Nurhouse's watch, Val sings to Ellie, but she directs the singing spell to Evander.
It failed.
Which, yeah, nothing happens because she failed her roll. It was like a 98 or something. It was really bad. So anyway, yeah, on first watch, Ileana's watch. Now Holo feels eyes on her, but doesn't see anything. She does take a look around, but yeah, there's nothing there. So Val takes the fourth watch, and while they're doing the swap, she asks Holo if she remembers anything, and Holo doesn't. But she does tell her about the feeling that they're being watched, and she says that she's trying really hard to remember. She really wants to remember. So, but that's all she has. She can't remember anything else. So during Val's watch, she hears Kuru, her raven, caw from above, and she sees a silhouette not too far off. It's a horse with a man sitting on it. Looking in her direction. And she's like, well, fuck, this isn't good. And then he starts running off to the east.
Back to Sandon.
And she's like, well, that's not good. So maybe we should do something about that. So I think she sends the raven after him. No? What does she do? I forget.
Nothing. Can't do anything. We spent like 20 fucking minutes just sitting here and we're like, the guy's gone. Like, you're not gonna catch up to a horse. And we're just like, what do we do? Can we run after him? And they're just like, nope, it's a guy and a horse. Like, what do you... I'm like, move on. Let's go. Castle. Yeah, so we don't do anything. We just keep it in mind. Just in case. I think Evander advises us that we should go to the castle just in case, you know, he brings friends that are close by and we're caught not in the gate.
Now this is where the conversation between Evander and Val happens.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
okay.
This after this. So Evander asks Val why she still hides her identity. Like, it's been a while. It's been about a week. Just under a week.
It's been a week.
It's been a week.
But less than our week. It's been game time week.
It's been game week, yes.
It's been game week.
So it's been a little while. She still doesn't know or trust anyone. And so Evander advises that Val reveal herself, and that if she shows how good magic users can be, the party will have a new outlook on that whole thing, because magic is still very frowned upon in this universe. Val replies with this being a luxury that they can't afford, so she's going to keep herself hidden.
Yep.
And this is before everyone wakes up, so nobody hears this conversation.
Yeah.
Once this is done, they wake the rest of us, and Evander says that we may be more vital to the war than we think.
He thought
he
more
thinks,
vital to the war than he had expected.
Yeah.
Seeing as there's people.
But we obviously don't know because we don't remember. So yeah. So Val and Evander tell everyone else about the rider, and that this is when we decide that we can't go after him, and we should go to the castle. So. Val offers to go ahead in raven form.
To scout it out.
Yeah, and she sees some guards posted on the wall, but they're all old men and young boys. Basically just people that aren't fit to fight in the war. They just left them behind, and they're like, here, literally hold down the fort. And they're like, Okay. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So we good, like my old man voice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
So do you wanna take it from
Yeah.
here?
The the group approaches the gate, and there's basically stationed a very old man, in his, I think we decided like in his 60s. He could
Which
be
is
in his
old.
30s, but he's just very old. He has a flowing white beard, that looks out of place. And next to him is a very young boy, probably no more than 16. Doesn't fit his armor whatsoever. He's just getting drowned in it. And Devril walks up and approaches the two, and he asks the old man if they can go in. And literally, long story short, the old man is just so senile. Just doesn't make any coherent sense. As it's just like, oh, Wallace repeats himself, mistakes Devril for being the son of something. Finally, politely, Devril turns to the younger boy and says, "You'll let us in, right?" And the boy is shaking in fear, knowing exactly who Devril is, or what Devril's position is, and says, "Yes, my lord. Just the seneschal will probably want to see you. Yeah, would like feel free to go in." Or like, okay, well, I'll leave this old man to you. And he puts a hand on his shoulder. Passing by, Devril puts a hand on the young man's shoulder and says, "You're doing a fine job." To which he's like, "Oh, thank you, my lord." And they continue on his way.
And then the old guy's like, "Say hello to your father for me." And Devril's like, "Not the right guy."
Yeah. I'd be a little I'd have more questions if that sounded more cognizant, and be like, "My father, really? Please tell me. Show who is he?"
He called you a different name, and you're
yeah. "That was somebody's son, wasn't it?" And be like, no, grandfather, no.
Yeah, the kid's like, "No." Anyway,
the group enters. The group enters the town. There's women, children around. Basically, again, what like I said, everyone who is not fit for the war. And
actually, the keep itself.
Yeah, I was getting to that because
okay.
The seneschal. Now, seeing as the seneschal wanted to see Devril, kind of announce his presence, and probably also the best. Devril's thinking is the best way to establish a place for Ellie to stay. That he'd go. And he knows that the seneschal is going to be at the keep, so he heads over there. Considering that the point of their party or their group being very weird, he basically asks everyone, is like, "Oh, I have to go to the keep. You guys probably should stay here.
Go do something.
Go do something." Like this
so
is
Evander's
not...
like, "Let's go to the bar."
Yeah, they take Ellie along. They go to a tavern, basically like an inner tavern, and order drinks all around. The tavern's name is the Viscount Inn.
The Viscount Inn, yeah.
Yeah, the Viscount Inn. And yeah, they spend the early part of the afternoon there drinking away. Meanwhile, Ileana has graciously invited herself to go with Devril to see the seneschal, and the pair approaches the keep. Now, as you were about to say, the keep is actually still very heavily guarded. There's men who look like they know what they're doing. Just, I guess this is the reserves, like they have to actually have a fighting force back here. Yeah, so their passage is barred. The two guards cross their halberds and deny Devril entrance. Devril says, "I appears that I hear that the Seneschal would like to see me, according to the guards at the front gate, and they're like, all right, who's she? To which Devril replies that Ileana is his assistant. He cast her a apologetic look, feeling like he demeaned her in some way, but Ileana's fine with it. She was gonna say exactly the same thing. They take their weapons away. They kind of give them a thorough look over. Ileana shows a little bit of leg action to drive a point home. And and they go inside the keep. Basically, they are brought to a room. A man is surrounded by servants, all holding carrier birds or messenger birds, and he's scribbling on parchments and whatnot, not even noticing Devril or Ileana in the room. Devril clears his throat and says, "Are you?" And he gets stopped by a finger. Yeah. I'm not sure how he feels about that, but sure, why not?
He's super polite.
Yep.
Doesn't say anything.
Yeah. And the Seneschal, basically after he's done, he looks up and says, "You know what can I do for you?" Devril talks to him about Sandon. He basically talks about what's happening. Devril is trying to get a little bit more information to see what the Seneschal knows. Also ask now that what are they called? That was on a different piece of paper that helped the race of people from the sea. I don't know.
Oh,
yeah.
It starts with an A.
Anyway, the foreigners that are helping the side are basically invading Theron. That the king will get involved now with the royal army, and he can only hope. That's it. Basically, it appears that the reinforcements were able to mount a defensive and rally everyone back together, but it's still pretty tenuous in Sandon right now. It's not going well for them. But anyway, he says that this is probably not anything that Adjudicator would care for. So why are you really here? So Devril says that they found an orphan and they brought her here because it would they heard that all the refugees were coming to Castle Wallace, and he says, maybe the church will. Devril says, has the church started taking orphans? Because he doesn't really know much. What is it?
Found it. It's the Amarians.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or the black people, the Assassin's Creed people. I'm just saying.
You can't just say that, man.
All right, moving on. So yeah, he says the church was taking orphans, and maybe they have room for one more. He also says that he has some business. He has some unpleasant business, adjudicator business. I think that's what he says. That he would like to deal with, seeing as they haven't had adjudicator in a couple weeks, passed through in a couple weeks. So Devril's like, what kind of business would you have with me? It's like, what are you talking about? What else? You're like, what else is adjudicator used for? Devril's like, right, I know exactly what that. Yeah. And he's like, meet me back at 6. I'll be done. Or at the 6th bell, I'll be done. And we'll get this unpleasant business out of the way. Devril's like, I totally know what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'll meet you at 6 later. And yeah, they leave. So the Ileana and Devril make their way back to the Viscount Inn. Deverell takes Ellie and says that, he's going to go to the church and drop her off, seeing as they're taking care of the orphans. Ileana's like, I'm coming along as well. And they're like, okay. And Val says that she's coming along. Deverell's a little bit hesitant because it's the church. But Val says, I'll stay outside. I just want to, see Ellie.
Make sure that Ellie's okay.
Yeah. Ellie's okay.
And then she looks at Ellie. She gives Ileana a look. Yeah. Like, I just want to make sure that she's safe.
Stare.
Ileana's like, what?
Meanwhile, Evander, Hollow, and Nurhaz have been drinking profusely. Hollow is just shit-faced. Evander has a good buzz, and Nurhaz is whatever. And Nurhaz has asked the innkeeper if there is a forge, like where the forges are. So the three of them, the smithy, the three of them go over there. And we'll get back to them later. So Deverell, Ileana, and Val go to the church. It's a large Gothic-style building. You could probably fit like half of the population of the castle in here. Like, it's huge. And Val basically gets down and says goodbye to Ellie. Tells her to like always keep singing or some shit, and like to be
sing
good.
Lots of songs.
Yeah.
We're like, no.
And as species, we're like, that's horrible. Deverell's just like, okay,
that's so
whatever. Like,
sweet.
that's so sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. Like, obviously, oh my god. And
then she gives her a thing. She gives her a feather.
Yes, but I failed to mention that before this, she actually uncovers her veil and shows Ellie. So yeah, we see Val's face for the first time, and we're like, oh wow, she's an elven woman.
Very angular features.
Yeah, but Val gives her a feather that she holds. So she's holding a feather in one hand and Dolly in the other. And yeah, the Ileana and Deverell enter their church. And yeah, inside it's Gothic style church. You guys can just imagine really high ceiling, stained glass, pillars, all that jazz. And Deverell finds the closest, I guess.
Can I describe the church a little bit?
Oh
more?
yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So like you said, stained glass windows. But they're all depicting like violence. Like violent scenes. There's one at the front, which shows a robed, white, faceless figure holding a gilded torch, who is none other than the Lord of Illumination. Yeah. Oh, and then I have more notes about Val's thing too. I was like, where are you? Why didn't I write this down? But it was just further down. So yeah, when Val says bye to Ellie, she gives her a black feather and a hug, and Ellie says that she loves her. She loves Val. And that was cute.
Yeah, that was cute. Thank you, Zachcast, for the follow. Appreciate it. Yeah, and basically, there's this whole torch theme that goes on in the church. Even the chandeliers are shaped like torches, or the lights in the chandeliers are shaped like torches. Deverell is the only one who knows this, but it follows the creation story of the world, which he had read in the Bible, or this world's Bible.
The book.
The book of Illumination. So I won't say anything because it'll most likely come out during RP. So you guys will just have to wait for that. But yeah, it's all part of the, and Deverell is slowly starting to put puzzle pieces together when it comes to what his job is and what the church is doing. So they actually ask, one of the attendants that's, busy like sweeping up the floor, to show or to speak with a person who is in charge of taking care of the orphans. Want to carry on this one?
Sure, yeah. Meanwhile, Devril has sort of broken off from Ellie and Ileana to go talk to this guy. Ellie's trying to hold Ileana's hand, but she's got like the feather in her one hand and like her dolly in the other hand, so she's like reaching out with one finger, and Ileana just like
you're holding her pinky, or like, you're holding her hand like you would a dirty rag. That's
exactly. Yep. Yes. So while we're standing there, we notice that the inside of the hall is very narrow. I don't know. He said like you could only fit maybe 2 people, like shoulder to shoulder, 2 or 3 people shoulder to shoulder, like in. What am I saying?
No, what are you talking about? The doors are huge.
It's really the hall is really narrow. That's what I wrote down. So the chaplain.
Yes.
The chaplain is the guy that has been working to take in the orphans.
Yep.
And so once the guy goes and fetches the chaplain, Devril scoops up Ellie. Ileana proceeds to wash her hands in the holy water.
Good lord.
So the chaplain, they come into the room where he's working. He's wearing very impressive robes and finery. He's got a medallion with a torch on it, and he also is writing with a quill, just like the seneschal was. He greets Devril, something like, "Oh, hello, brother. What can I do for you?" And
we haven't seen one of your kind in many weeks. So like that's exactly the same as
Yeah, and then he holds out his hand like this. And Devril's like, "Oh fuck, what do I do?"
I don't know what to do.
So you roll for this. Yeah. You roll for this, and you.
I'm a goddamn genius.
Yeah, and you kiss his ring, which is the right thing to do.
Yep.
And then he does this. Yeah, this.
Yeah.
So Devril just does it back because he's like, probably safe, and it turns out it is also the right thing to do. So the guy, he says, "Well, okay, well, we'll take some information from you. Come have a seat and we'll fill out some paperwork." So he asks a couple questions about Ellie, like how old we think she is. He also asks if she has any relatives.
Leftis.
Yeah, so we talk about her.
I feel like that's gonna be just a meme. Whenever we don't want to do anything, be like, "Nah, he has an aunt in Leftis.
Yeah,
can't do it. Can't do it."
Yeah. So yeah, he says, "Okay, well we can try to make arrangements, but Leftis is
it's pretty far."
It's pretty far, so he says
pretty fucking far. Yeah, but she can stay here.
Ellie can stay until they arrange travel for her. So so that once that's all done, they leave Ellie there. She asks Devril if she'll ever see him again, and he says, "Only if you're really good."
And then
everyone's like, or if you're really bad.
That was good. That's gonna be so canon. Like, holy shit, it's gonna be so canon.
That would be so funny. Yeah. So as we're leaving, Devril mutters under his breath, "That was for you, Arthur. That was my penance."
My homeboy, looking down on me from heaven.
Yeah, did that for you. So they get outside, and Val says that she's glad to be rid of her.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I didn't like the little monster anyway.
Yeah. Cry. Yeah. So yeah, that's exactly what she says. So yeah, then she's just happy that we found a place for Ellie.
Yeah, absolutely.
So back at the Spiffy, Val. No, not Val. Evander and Holo were talking about hair.
Yup.
Holo
Oh
was like,
yeah.
"Can I cut your hair?" And Evander's like, "You can cut mine if I can cut yours." And Holo's like, "Never mind." So, I didn't really write. I wrote snippets of this down. So
Yeah. So basically, Nurhaz approaches the forges, and he asks the nearest guy, who's in charge of the forge, and basically he points to the guy that's the only one who is actually actively working the forges. Everyone is just gathering materials or just cleaning up or doing whatever, but he's the only one actually working the forges. So Nurhaz approaches him as he's working on this sword, puts it in the cooling basin or whatever, and Nurhaz asks him if he is able to borrow a forge. The guy says, it's really busy. There's a war going on. There are not very many open forges to just let a dwarf work. And Nurhaz says, maybe I can save you some time. I'll trade you for it. And he brings all the loot that he's gathered. So basically broken pieces of armor, extra swords, extra pieces of gear. He's like, you can use this, you can fix them up. It'll save you some time. The guy looks them over, says, "Oh, all right. You can use that forge over there until nighttime." Basically, he doesn't really care if Nurhaz wants to stay the whole night. Basically, you can use it until tomorrow, until the smithy opens up again. Nurhaz is like, "All right, thanks," and he sends everybody home, all the workers home. Now, as there's a mass exodus from the smithy, Nurhaz actually sees a dwarf in the midst of the crowd, and he calls out to him. He says, "Oi!" And the dwarf stops and turns around, and he has the tattoos on his face similar to Nurhaz, very identical, and he walks over and actually clasp hands with Nurhaz and say, it's very good to see somebody like our kind. Like it's good to see our kind. Though I don't think he was talking about a dwarf. I think it's like the more of the outcast thing. So he asked
the Mike Tyson tattoo.
The outcast thing. So Nurhaz basically talks to him, asks him, how life is. He was asking him, what's happening, if this is a good place to work. And the dwarf says, everyone's really nice. They appreciate his hard work, but he is still a dwarf, so he does get paid less than everybody else. Like, if everyone gets paid 4 copper, he gets paid 2. And they actually, and seeing as dwarfs are not allowed to own land, he has a little hovel outside of the city's, the city wall, or the castle walls, which they let him use. Now, his coworkers are actually really thankful of him, and they do give him some stuff underneath the table if he helps them, which is nice. But he says that he does get harassed by guards if they ever think he has too much money. So Nurhaz actually asks for his help and says, how would you like to, help me out? And, I'll give you a bit of coin. And he accepts. So the two of them, with Evander's help, that Holo is like passing out drunk, and like grabbing more drinks and stuff for all of them as they work the forges. And Nurhaz and this dwarf, I didn't write down his name. I don't
Katsuo.
know. Oh, Katsuo.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah. Oh wait, I did write that down. Ha.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Katsuo They start working on the arming sword. If you guys remember, the very first session in the villa, the nobleman's arming sword was broken in half. Nurhaz repairs that like 100%. Like, it's even better than before, and it's beautiful. Like, it's a beautiful arming sword. Next, he works on the plate armor. Well, meanwhile, they're working on that. Ileana and Devril and Val show up sometime later, and Devril helps out because he has time to kill. I guess you, Hollow, Val are just like chilling the forges and doing whatever.
Yeah, Ileana's like, I don't want to work. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
so you're just like, you're probably like sitting in the hay with Hollow, just like drinking, and she's like, I brought more drinks, and you're like, yo, Hollow, you're just stop, you're so drunk. But yeah, no, Devril helps out, and they get to the armor, and Nurhaz actually measures Devril, and you know, it's like, oh, you know, this I'll make this armor for you. Devril's really thankful. And Nurhaz struggles a little bit with the armor, but he has the help of Katsuo, so they make do. It's not perfect, but it'll fit Devril, and it's still really good quality. Now, the 6th bell rings, and it's time. Devril says, "Oh, you know, I have to go back to the keep." He cleans himself up. And heads over towards Ileana. Offers to come back with him, but Devril says that it's probably best for her to stay. He doesn't really know what Judicator business is, but he doesn't want Ileana to be a part of it. For now. So the Nurhaz, Katsuo, and Evander stay at the forges since they're still working away, and Hollow, Val, and Ileana return back to the inn.
Just me and Hollow. Val stays at the forges. I promise you. Only Hollow came with me.
I'm not being very clear, but yeah, sure, whatever. We'll go with it.
Because I don't know what Val did. I think she just like went off for a little bit.
No, she went back to the thing, but she didn't help you guys barter for the rooms, because she was already there when I came back. It doesn't matter. It's minute details.
Okay.
So we'll get the thing with Devril done, and then you can go for the inn, because it flows into the rest of it. So Evander, Katsuo, and Nurhaz stay at the forges, and they work late into the night. They don't get back before the session ends. Let's just say that. So we don't need to worry about them anymore. So Devril goes back at the 6th bell. The seneschal is just finished. It looks like he just finished eating dinner, and he says that they haven't been properly introduced. And the seneschal introduces himself as Arlen Visseler, and Devril says, Devril Menhold, Devril Menard, and he says, well, let's get this unpleasant business over and done with. And he leads Devril down underneath the keep into the dungeons. Now they walk past rows of cells. Some are empty. Some of them they have people in them, clothed in like nothing but rags. And it's pretty cold and dark and dank and all that. It's a dungeon. And as they walk past, Arlen says, "Petty crimes, nothing worth your time." And they reach the very end of the row of cells, away from everyone else. And there's a man that is tied up to the wall, and he has a mat like an iron mask strapped to his face. It's bolted in the back. And Devril's like, what did this person? What is he accused of? Like, why the special treatment, right? Because all the other prisoners not shackled at all; they're free to roam inside. Basically, Arlen says that this guy is accused of witchcraft. And Devril asks, is there any evidence? And apparently, this man was found in a bed of, or in bed with a woman who said that she was charmed.
She's a harlot.
Yeah, she was charmed by him to sleep with her. That's what happened. And so she accused him of using magic to charm her, to sleep with her, and that's why she cheated on her husband. Apparently, that's it. And Devril, it just looks like incredulous. Like you're kidding. Like what is like? You can't possibly have this man. Like you can't possibly treat this man just for like an absurd claim, like just for something so. And Arlen gives him this look of confusion, like you're kidding, right? Like you're joking? Are you kidding? So Devril just cuts himself off. Like he just stops and he's like, let me talk to him. Just let me talk to him. So he goes,
like, that's a bad idea.
Yeah, that's I wouldn't advise it. And but he's like, that's fine. And he opens the cage or the door, and Devril walks in, and the man he asked the man if he did it, and Devril says shake your head or nod your head or shake your head, and answer my questions, seeing as he can't really talk because of the mask. And he asks if the man did it, and the man shakes his head, and Devril asks what was the woman spiteful, like what is this because she's spiteful of you? And the man says no, shakes his head. He turns Devril turns back to Arlen and says, I'm if you want to be safe, you can leave, but I need to question him because I don't want to put an innocent man to death by accident. The Arlen's like, all right, Devril asks for his sword back. Arlen gives it to him. He says, I'm gonna lock you in here. Knock when you want to get out. And he hands him the key for the mask. So Devril basically gets locked in the room with this man. He unbolts the mask, and the mask is pretty disgusting. There's as he removes it, inside the mask there's this long iron tongue depressant that was basically stuck in his throat, holding his tongue down so he wouldn't be able to talk. Seeing as, oh my god, we have to let this go.
What? What?
Hold on.
Oh.
Thank you so much.
I like your videos also. But any tips to grow on Twitch with someone that only has 110 followers?
What?
All right, thank you so much for the $2.60 Zachcast. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
You the real MVP.
You the real MVP. We had to let the song finish. And thank you so much. Appreciate it, man. But yeah, I will get back to your request after the video, or after the recap. So moving along, basically he takes it off and has a talk with the guy. He says, tell me what's going on. If you are really a witch, trust me, I understand more than you know. So just talk to me. Like, if you want to kill me, I'll kill you, but probably not the best. So basically the guy gives him his side of the story. When Sandon was being evacuated, he lives in Sandon. Sandon was being evacuated. While they were traveling, the woman was, she had needs, and
the
they weren't
the lady
being...
he was billeted with. So
yeah.
he had to stay with her.
Yeah,
And she was like, I wrote down it's on
Oh,
my notes.
yeah.
The
Okay,
lady
okay,
he
good.
was billeted with was horny AF. That's that's what I wrote. So yeah, when her husband found them, she said like she was obviously guilty, but she's like, this guy enchanted me and I had to sleep with him because I was under a spell. And he's like, witchcraft, and then he got arrested.
Yeah,
But,
he was a-
but old Martha Delsey's a hoe.
yeah. So that's it. And he says, you know, it's I'm only a man. You know, I'm not okay, I'm not gonna say no to that. And I'm like, oh, Devil's just like you're an idiot, but you're an innocent idiot. You're just an idiot. and Devil sees that the man's telling the truth, and it kind of correlates with what Arlen says as the woman, you know, charged the guy with witchcraft to sleep with. And Devril has seen magic, and though he knows, he doesn't know what it can do, and he's seen it do some really weird stuff. Like he just doesn't feel like such a frivolous use. It's just not. Yeah, it doesn't work. So he knocks open and he says, he doesn't actually put the mask back on, and he gives a tap on the door, and Arlen opens and he says, Seneschal Whistler, I ask that you set this man free. He's quite innocent, and
But he's just an idiot.
yeah, but he is an idiot. And Arlen's like, oh, you know, are you sure? And Devril's like, I'm sure. And basically, Arlen chuckles and he says, I don't forget what the man's name was, but he says the man, he's like, he's not gonna be happy about this. And
the husband?
Yeah, the husband's name. He's like, Arlen laughs and he's like, oh, so and so's not gonna be happy about this.
I don't remember.
Yeah. But Devril is on cloud nine. He basically saved an innocent man from being put to death, and he actually the parting words of the accused man was, you know, you're very understanding for adjudicator. Most of them would, you know, just chop first, ask questions later. And Devril's like, you're quite lucky to have me as your adjudicator. And he's like, oh, yeah, I am. Yes, I am. And Devril says that he is happy enough to, or he likes to think that he has a different view, like he's got a new outlook on life, is what he told the man. But anyway, so Devril's really, really happy. He heads back toward the inn, and
so
yes.
while that was happening,
yes, we'll move to the inn.
Yes, so Ileana and Holo had been tasked with the responsibility of getting some rooms for all of us. Now Nurhaz gave Ileana a silver piece, which would, like, the coppers were, oh my god, the rooms were like, what did he say? He said they were like 4 coppers each or something, or
no, before
he was like, this should do, and so like gave her a silver piece.
Yeah,
so
because before, no, because let me get this, because beforehand, when we were at the keep, they were. Oh, you're going.
They were yeah. Oh, well, go ahead.
All right. Okay, so because beforehand, they were, while they were drinking, while Ileana and Devril was in the keep meeting Arlen for the first time, they had talked with the innkeeper, and the innkeeper said, you know, they don't get very many travelers because of the war. They have all the rooms left. You know, they have so many rooms. So if they decide to stay the night, by all means, let him know. He'll hook them up.
So when Ileana and Holo get there, they're like, "We need some rooms," and he's like, "Oh, we're very full, so you'll have to pay the premium if you want some good rooms." And Holo's like, "That's bullshit, because I was here last when you said we had a lot of rooms available." And he's like, "Oh well, still, like they're going fast," and she's like, "Mm-mm." And so he says, "Oh well, I can give you
2 rooms
like,
for 10.
Oh no, he's like 10 coppers each room." And they're like, "Fuck no." So Ileana's like, "Well, surely you can do better than that," and rolls a charm check, and Holo does also. And Holo fails, so she just backs off and like leans on something. And he's like, "Oh well, I can give you 2 for like this many." And Ileana's like, come on. No, you can do much better than that." And he's like, okay, fine. 3 rooms for 10 coppers, but that's the best I can do or I'll be losing money. And she's like, okay, that's better. So we got the 3 rooms. The guy is all in a huff. He's like, "Oh, here's your damn keys," and like sets them down on the counter, and then he gives her a wink because he obviously had fun with the whole haggling thing. And
Bartering's fun.
Yeah, and so he tells them where they are, and they go and drop off their stuff, and yeah, and Ileana's like, "Oh, we'll be down for a pint later," and he's like, "I'll hold you to it," and then she says, "Oh, maybe I'll buy you one," and he goes, "Don't make promises you can't keep," and she's like, "Don't worry about it," and so they go do that. Then meanwhile, Devil's doing his thing. He comes back, and everybody. Holo has gone to bed. She's super tired.
She was day drinking. The entire day. She was day drinking.
So at this point, she's just done.
Yeah.
Val went
around.
She went for a walk or something.
Yeah, Val is around.
Yeah.
But she was there before me because she noticed me come in.
Yes, that's right. So yeah, she's somewhere. Ileana's schmoozing with a bunch of guys in the bar.
She's a harlot.
Get some free drinks. No, she's not. She's not putting out. She's just getting free drinks.
I'm kidding. Come on.
She's only got one on the brain.
She's loyal.
Yeah.
These hoes so loyal.
She's loyal. So so she's walking around getting some free drinks from people successfully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you are in with the innkeeper and making him lots of banks. You know what?
Now, and she's going and making him some more money by getting the guys to buy her drinks, and she's getting some free drinks in the process. So Devil comes in. He's finished his adjudication, and Val notices him come in. He goes and sits in a booth by himself. So Val goes and joins him.
He actually, he actually goes up to the bar to order a drink,
right?
And because he's gonna celebrate, and the barkeeper says, first one's on the house. Yeah,
that's right.
For adjudicator, keeping the peace. And then Devil's like, "Oh, thanks so much," and this is where I don't know because we kind of just like glossed over shit. Because Tay asked if adjudicators get paid, and Jeffs was like, "Yes, they do," and he's like, and he looks at me and he's like, "Well, you don't know," and then just continued on, and I was like, "What do you mean I don't know?" Like, what? Did I just do that shit for free?
You did.
Was I supposed to ask for money?
But you didn't kill the guy.
It doesn't matter. I was still doing a job.
Yeah, that's true. Sucks to be you.
I'm paid for time, not work done. I'm paid on time.
Well, clearly you're not, because you didn't.
But anyway, that's what happened. So yeah, he goes. We need money. Stop. This is for you too.
Durhas has got it down, except he's working for free.
Yeah, he's working for free too.
He's got the loot going.
Oh my god. Yeah, so Val comes into the booth with Devril. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they chit chat and talk, and Devril is in high spirits, and he says, it's funny, we've been traveling together, and I still don't know your name after all. He's like, do you mind telling me? Oh, but only if you want to. Mind you, it's only had like half his pint right now, and it's all right. Like it's great. Yeah, and Val it's like, all right, and said, introduce herself. Said, my name is, what's her full name?
Valineth.
Valineth.
Yeah, she
That's
introduces
Valina.
herself as Val to Devril, but she also says that she introduces herself to other people as Gemma.
Yeah.
So when you may remember that when we first met Ellie, she introduced herself to Ellie as Gemma.
Yeah. That really threw me off. Holy shit.
I know, right? Like, what? Did she change her name? No. It's an alias. Yeah, so finally Ileana's done schmoozing and comes over to Devril.
Yeah, she actually, well, you don't notice me at the very start.
Not for a
you're
while.
Too busy, yeah.
I'm working.
Stop.
Work. Yeah, so it takes a little while for Ileana to notice Devril in the booth because she is making her rounds, but she finally does notice and goes over, which is Val's cue to head off. She says, "Well, it looks like no, I'm not spending all the money. It looks I'm spending other people's money." So yeah, she says it looks like your girlfriend's coming over, so I'm gonna take my leave. Val and Ileana exchange a frigid glance. Okay. Yeah, Ileana nods to her, and Val's like, "Whatever, bitch," and like walks off. And Ileana sits down.
Literally, the two of you could just make episodes of Mean Girls. That's it. That's straight up.
Yeah, the like slow-mo walk by, and the like, the evil eye as we walk by. But yeah, so she sits down next to Devril in the booth and drapes herself across him, and she goes, "Hello, handsome. How did it go?" Ileana is on quite a buzz as well because she's been getting some freebies.
Yep.
Yeah, so she's not exactly super sober, and so Devril says, "Oh, I think it went quite well," and he's all cheerful.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, should I get a drink to celebrate?" And is that when?
I'm pretty sure, because I say something along the lines of fuck.
Shit. Yeah, she's like, fuck.
I say something along the lines of you like I mentioned something you were like what you were doing, like, to celebrate, and I'm like, it seems you've already been doing something with like all the men here, or something along that line.
Did you? I don't remember. Anyway,
because the follow up was there's only one witch. Or I call you like
witch in this town.
Yeah. That's what I ended, and then there was like I said like who would want to celebrate with or like who would want to.
Such a vile seductress.
Yeah, seductress. Like yeah. That's it.
Oh, there you are. Yeah, and he's like being drunk. He's clearly Zyron now. Devril has changed to Zyron. By himself.
Yep.
Normally it would require some summoning, like you'd have to say his name to get him out, but he's he's officially done the switch. Deverell's gone and Zyron is there, and he is drunk as a skunk. So yeah, he's like he like giggling. He's like, yeah, there's only one witch in this town, and Ileana's like,
because he's making well, no one knows because of the whatever, but yeah, he's making a joke to himself for everyone who knows that, you know, Deverell had to go do a witchcraft case. Anyway.
Yeah. So Ileana's like, Zyron, are you drunk? And he's like, what makes you think that? Me drunk? No. And she's like, I'll be right back. We're getting some more. And so she waves down the barkeep and gets a couple more beers. And this is when Val is making her way to the stairs. A small group of people enter the tavern. They seem to be mercenaries. They're not wearing any color. Or they're not wearing red. They're not wearing blue. They're just very neutral.
They do have an emblem, though.
They all seem to be wearing a patch somewhere on their person with a bow and arrow emblem. And most of them are carrying bows and arrows. They seem to be a group of archers. Most are human, and there is one female elf with them. And she actually intercepts Val as she's walking to the stairs and stops her, and she goes, Val?
Yeah.
That's where we end it. So Val, her storyline's gonna get a little juicy next time.
Yeah, no, well, we'll find out. Hopefully, hopefully we'll find out more about that.
Fight, and it's gonna be great.
There's gonna be a bar fight. Whoa. I'm not.
Yeah.
I haven't committed to this.
Evander and Nurhaz are gonna come back, and they're gonna
see me stand off against like all these guys because I think they're harassing Val, and Vander's just like, oh, let's go. Vander's like, oh, this is my jam. Let's go.
And then some like raccoon's gonna show up and like start beating everybody up and. Tanuki,
like, do you remember the fucking Tanuki? During that bar fight? Oh my lord. That was a good bar fight.
It was amazing.
I honestly, you know what? Just for the sake of like continuity, we need to open up our Raethborne session with a bar fight. We need to at least have one bar fight in a campaign.
At least one.
Just at least one. There's gonna be totally.
Did we have any bar fights in
the second arc?
Pathfinder 2?
Not.
I don't think we did.
Ish.
A lot of drinking.
A lot of drinking. We were in a bar, and we were fighting. So you could say we were bar fight-ish. You know what? The whole world's a bar.
The world is a. Every fight's a bar fight.
The whole world's your stage. The whole world is your bar.
Oh my god. Anyway, so that's it. We are not playing this weekend.
No, we're not playing this
at Emerald City Comic Con.
Yeah, we're not playing this Sunday. So stay tuned for stay tuned on our Twitters. The links down below, guys. We'll keep you posted for that if we're gonna do another makeup session or if we're just gonna wait until Thursday. If there's no makeup session, obviously then there's not gonna be a recap Thursday this coming week. We might do something if you're free. If you don't have a gig, we might do something.
Sunday night?
No, Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah. I do have a gig actually.
Oh, well then there you go.
Yeah. So
so never mind. But yeah, we'll figure out and do something Sunday. I think we're just gonna be recording, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, we will see you guys in the next one, whenever the next one is.
Bye. Stick around.